The trails you walk in any given park or forest are often forged by hard-working hands. In the Tug Hill region, it's no different, except the one we're sharing with you tonight is extra special. Forged by a group of volunteers and dubbed the Traverse Trail, this 20-mile path will cut across the region's dense core forest in the Tug Hill. It's roughly 175,000 acres. Joining us from that part of the trail tonight is WPBS's Luke Smith. Good evening, Luke. So what inspired this volunteer effort?
Good evening, Michael. Inspired is truly the word to use here, because this trail behind me is being forged by people passionate about outdoor life and experiencing nature in its purest form. The project is being led by Bob McNamara, a trained landscape architect and wildlife artist. And when it's all said and done, the public will have 20 miles of nature to take in that they've never experienced before.
So the trail's gonna come out on this thing called Camp 2 Road. But right now we are right here.
The Traverse Trail has been a passion project of Bob's for 7 years. Expected to stretch from Lowville to Osceola, the project was born from Bob's love for sharing his surroundings with others.
I started actually doing hikes across Tug Hill, the core forest, in the wintertime, which I called the Traverse hikes. And it was just a bunch of our friends, and we would spend 2 days. We'd spend one night out in the middle somewhere. Actually, Zach Wakeman, who is here, is the one who said, hey, why don't we make a real trail across Tug Hill? And I thought, hey, that's a great idea.
That idea blossomed into friends and volunteers helping to clear out this scenic trail. But before they can start trailblazing,
there are guidelines that you use when you're blazing trails. Basically, you try to, within your arm span, your wingspan, you try to cut all of the limbs that might impose on that. You pick up deadfall and you cut trees, bigger trees. You weed whack. You lop. You saw. Just make a corridor through the forest.
Go for it. Thanks to support from organizations like the Tug Hill Tomorrow Land Trust, more supporters are learning how they can get involved.
The Land Trust and Bob McNamara were very involved, and they, Bob was on our board, so we knew exactly what was going on, and we've just been helping in any way. We've been working with DEC, the Tug Hill Commission, you name it, with all the interested parties to make sure that this went forward.
They give us publicity, they organize the volunteers, and they're just 100% behind the effort.
With the help of these dedicated volunteers, the Trailblazers have managed to clear out 11 miles of the 20-mile trail. It took some time to get the approvals and to incorporate it in the state's unit management plan. That was 7 years ago. Between that and the clearing, the project has about a year left.
We got the section that we haven't done yet extends south from Michigan Mills Road, and we'll go over to Osceola West Leiden Road eventually. And we're just going to hit that about 4 miles east of Osceola. When we're out there working, we're also really enjoying it. We're listening to the diversity of bird species, and we're looking at the diversity of plant communities. And it's fun for us, and it's an adventure as well. It's a good sense of accomplishment.
I think the key thing I'd like people to know is the importance of getting our younger generations involved in the out of doors, getting them to appreciate the value of being outside, especially kids who tend to be from a more urban environment.
The hope of the Trailblazers is that word catches on in surrounding cities like Watertown, Utica, and Rome, making the Tug Hill Traverse Trail one of their newest adventures. In the Tug Hill region for WPBS Weekly, I'm Luke Smith.